why an invasion of China by the US will absolutely fail. The United States possesses the most formidable military in the world, both in terms of technology and numbers. However, the feasibility of a US invasion of China requires a careful examination of geography, logistics, and military capabilities. Despite the US military's ability to move troops over long distances, the challenge of invading China's mainland is complex. This analysis explores the potential staging areas, the obstacles faced during an invasion, the role of air and naval forces, and the limitations that would hinder a successful outcome. Geography and logistics. It's geographically separated by vast oceans, benefits from significant natural buffers that protect its homeland. However, these same oceanic barriers pose logistical challenges for deploying US forces over long distances. Establishing a staging area close to China's mainland is crucial, with South Korea and Taiwan emerging as potential candidates due to their geographic proximity. Securing this staging area against Chinese attacks would be a challenging endeavor given China's extensive missile capabilities, including the ability to strike targets as far as Guam and Hawaii. Overcoming logistical hurdles, such as ensuring a constant supply of fresh troops and equipment, would be critical during an invasion. Air operations. In an invasion scenario, the US would face a protracted air battle against the Chinese Air Force. While the US boasts superior technology, China's numerical advantage poses a significant challenge. US aircraft would need to be flown in from distant locations, leaving them vulnerable to missile attacks. Chinese fighter aircraft, supported by long-range bombers, would initially have the upper hand, forcing the US into a defensive air war. Gradually, as more US air assets are deployed to the Pacific, the balance of power would shift in favor of the US. Offensive air operations would target Chinese air defense systems, fighter bases, and communication networks. The US's emphasis would be on establishing air superiority to facilitate subsequent ground operations. Naval operations. Before the US can launch an invasion, its Navy must neutralize the People's Liberation Navy and secure control of the oceans. Destroying China's surface vessels and submarines or forcing them to remain in port would be crucial. The US Navy, with its superior combat power and the large number of battle force missiles, would have an advantage over China's fleet. The presence of US allies such as Japan and South Korea would significantly aid the naval operations. However, China's home field advantage cannot be ignored, as coordination between surface and air actions would be challenging for aggressor forces. Coordinated strikes on Chinese mainland bases using stealth aircraft, standoff attack weapons, and land attack missiles would be a vital part of US naval operations. Feasibility of invasion. In terms of a ground invasion, the US faces substantial challenges. Each American amphibious assault ship can carry a limited number of troops, tanks, and vehicles. The proximity of the invasion staging grounds to China's mainland is critical, as a longer return trip would leave the initial landing force vulnerable. The massive combat power of the Chinese military with its millions of troops would make it difficult to establish and hold a successful beachhead. Even if a beachhead were secured, the vast number of Chinese reserves could overwhelm US forces. The option of using nuclear weapons to prevent complete US defeat would be a last resort. While the United States possesses a powerful military, a hypothetical invasion of China presents formidable challenges. Geography, logistics, and the capabilities of the Chinese military pose significant obstacles. The US would need to establish a secure staging area, overcome Chinese missile attacks, achieve air and naval dominance, and contend with the overwhelming number of Chinese ground forces. Without resorting to nuclear weapons, a successful invasion would be highly improbable. Understanding these challenges highlights the complexities involved in such a scenario and underscores the need for diplomatic solutions and peaceful resolutions to international conflicts.